happening to media in the West, and in the fact of the matter is that yes, the media as we understand it is dying, and I think the traditional media is not going to survive. I think the case is in the Middle East, you have media, private and public, neither of which really serve the public interest. Those are two very different things, obviously. But as I understand it, in Tunisia and in Egypt, the majority of people still rely on sort of the state-run TV, state-run radio as the sort of main source of news. But as sort of, the model changes, where do you see it going? The internet penetration rates aren't as high in the Middle East as they are in the West. So what is the kind of the model of media access that you think is going to emerge in the Middle East?
Thank you for asking our two panelists as well. And last question, the man with the,
Ahmed Han. Well, I am coming from a strange country, we are a democracy, by the way, I have to underline that. And in that democracy, when the Gezi protests started, the protests in Taksim started, the main media outlets, not even the pro-government ones, because there is really, the distinction is between the pro-government news outlets and the pro-government news outlets. Even the pro-government news outlets had penguins, documentaries showing penguins on TV. And that was the local subsidiary of CNN. Whose owner has been fined at a rate of $3 billion for tax evasion on very murky grounds. I'm not very much favorable of the guy himself, but the fine itself is an exemplary one. The second thing was I'm also coming from a democracy where the regulating authority, the head of the execution, said that Twitter and social media was the mother of all evil, because 2 million people has tweeted 15 million tweets while organizing Gezi Park movements. And then after that, in that democracy, the government, led by the prime minister, of course, gathered together authorities from A, National Intelligence Agency, B, Public Security Regulation Coordination Undersecretariat, something that is, wow. And Turkish radio television and whatnot, together to avoid exactly things like Gezi from occurring again. So when you're speaking about regulation, of course there are side stories to that. You can just make people take over media outlets if they are pro-government by subsidizing them with loans through public banks at a rate of $850 million, and then fire news journalists. Well, it is not even an SMS, If you go out there and if you're powerful enough, as my dear Prime Minister is, if you just go out there and say that you did not like a particular article, you're sure that the journalist will be fired the next day. So under those conditions, and remember that this is a democracy, a NATO member, a member of European Council on Human Rights, a negotiating whatever partner, however you name it, with the EU. So if this is the situation there, regulation is something allergic to me, and I cannot imagine how the Arab friends here might be feeling about it. So you have to be really very careful about when you're talking about regulating this. And did I mention that Turkey is a democracy?
Okay, let's go to Lina and Zied. Who would answer of you?
Are you sure?
Who of you will answer to the question?
Okay, thank you. أود الملاحظة بأنه وسائل الإعلام التقليدية وخاصة منها العمومية التي كانت تستخدم كأدوات للدعاية لفتح الأنظمة السابقة، كانت تستخدم كأدوات حكومية وليس كأدوات عمومية للإعلام. لم يكن كل العاملين فيها منخرطين في هذا الدور، بل بالعكس هناك قلة كانت مستفيدة من النظم السابقة وكانت هي التي تلعب دور، مقابل أغلبية كانت مضطرة للصمت لأن الكلام كان سيؤدي بها إلى ما لا يحمد عقباه، وكانت تعاني من الحرمان، من عقدة الحرمان والاضطهاد. ما حصل بعد أن تحرر التغييرات الحاصلة في بلداننا، بعد أن تحررت البلدان، تحرر كذلك الإعلام، ومنها الإعلام العمومي، وبالتالي تحررت هذه الأغلبية التي كانت محرومة من القيام بواجبها. لما سنحت لها الفرصة أصبحت تقوم بهذا الدور، ولذلك تمكنت من أن تشد المواطنين إليها، خاصة وأنها تتوفر على عناصر عندها مهنية وعندها احترافية ليست متوفرة في وسائل الإعلام الجديدة. هذا من ناحية. من ناحية ثانية، وسائل الإعلام الجديدة في جزء كبير منها تم إحداثها من قبل من لهم المال، ومن لهم المال والسلطة هم أساسا الحكام الجدد. فالمفارقة أن الجزء الكبير من وسائل الإعلام الجديدة تم إحداثها من قبل إذن الموالين للحكام الجدد، فأصبحت هي التي تلعب الدور القديم الذي كان يلعبه الإعلام الحكومي، أي دور الدعاية لفئة الحكام وليس دور السعي إلى الحقيقة. أما وسائل الإعلام المستقلة التي أنتجتها الحرية فهي تعاني كثيرا من غياب الإمكانيات، وللأسف فإن العديد منها نتيجة الصعوبات لم يستطع أن يواصل، مع الإشارة إلى وجود تأثير لرأس المال الخليجي. هناك رأس مال فني خارجي يلعب دور تخريبي على جميع المستويات في بلدي على الأقل، ولا أتحدث عن تجارب الآخرين. ملاحظة فقط بالنسبة لزميلي السوري، السوشيال ميديا أو شبكات التواصل الاجتماعي رغم الانحرافات التي حصلت فيها لكنها مع ذلك ما زال لها دور تلعبه. فهي أولا تلعب دور المحفز لوسائل الإعلام التقليدي، عندما يغفل أو يغفو هذا الإعلام فهي تدفعه إلى أن يستفيق ويتابع الحدث. ثانيا بحكم ارتباطها بالقرب فهي كذلك تكون أحيانا مصدر لوسائل الإعلام التقليدية. كل ما نقوم به عندما ينشر شيء في الانترنت هو الآن وإذا رأينا أنه مهم أننا نرسل محررين على عين المكان حتى يقوموا بالتغطية، وبالتالي ما زال لهذا الإعلام دور يلعبه. مشكلتنا فقط مع هذه الجيوش التي تخدم كأدوات للاستبداد.
I'll try to be brief. I don't have an answer for the question of the roadmap or the future, because currently there is a deep crisis, as I said before, and it's really a business crisis more than anything else. Media enterprises in the Arab world, and I think by and large the whole world, cannot really depend on the paychecks of this investor or that investor without a sustainability model, and no one is trying to invest in a sustainability model. I dare to say that, I'm trying to play the game differently just because I lost my job for the last decade and a half as a journalist repeatedly in different institutions because the institution's going bankrupt. So I'm trying to start my own with the very basic exercise of an enterprise, which is to write a business model, and we'll see where it goes. but I don't see where, particularly in Egypt, the private media is going to go, because what it is doing right now is that it's reproducing the functions of the state media in acting as a PR machine for the current regime. And people have already divorced themselves from the state media for that very reason. They started cultivating for the last decade an aversion to state media not being, not being objective, not being vehicle of the truth and all that. And currently, with the private media reproducing these functions, I don't see how they can sustain themselves, really. They need to return to the ranks of the civil society and contentious politics, or else I think they'll be doomed. And just a very quick note on the 2 points. The one with regards to the internet regulation. I also have to say that I shivered when I heard that. On a more conceptual level, I think we should understand the internet as something that is unsettling our understanding of political culture in general, and trying to manipulate that, I think, is very dangerous. And just you know, food for thought. Think of how Wikipedia has been self-managing itself for the last few years, right? It's not an idealistic model. It's not a utopia, and utopias are dysfunctional anyways, but it's a very interesting model of self-management online without any, you know, external regulators or anything like that. And then finally, with regards to the journalism dooming and all that, I mean, I have to be aversive to that because that's my job, right? So if you say this, I'll end up doing nothing, and I don't have anything else to shift to. So I'll have to defend that, but not just for the inevitability of me continuing to be a journalist, but also because analysis itself cannot replace journalism, as you said. And, you know, a very good example of that is, again, the Arab Spring, and how I see it, when it came, it actually crystallized a very deep analytical failure in the sense that, you know, no one expected it, no one understood it at the beginning, and, you know, as it was coming, a lot of books were already being published or in the path of being published about authoritarian regimes and their sustainability and the strength and so on and so forth. So I think you cannot compensate the presence that the journalists or, you know, some journalists provide when they are trying to portray what's happening. Presence, I think, is a very important thing that cannot just be compensated by analysis.
Thank you very much. I know that you're criticizing of a censorship, but please bear in mind that we, with extending the time and entering into the time of the next panel, we are censoring them. So I'm sure that maybe you're starving, and I hope that we've provided. No, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. You can ask her later. I mean, you can speak to all the panelists if they agree.
Не получих отговор на моя въпрос. Това е цензура от ръководството.
Имаме в България една специална ситуация. Имаме една партия в парламента. Сега трябва да обясня малко повече, за което се извинявам на следващия панел, но трябва да е ясно на гостите какъв е въпроса на Мохамед. За съжаление, в българския парламент има една партия, която използва тежката ситуация, в която се намира страната ни, политическа и икономическа криза. Към България в момента има много силна бежанска вълна. Цялата тази ситуация е използвана от тази партия за разпространяване на ксенофобски и други тенденции, свързани с в никакъв случай противоречащи директно на демократичната и европейските принципи, които тази държава, България, сама за себе си избрала и е поставила. Има една депутатка от тази партия, която е депутат в Българското народно събрание, която отива в различни телевизионни студия и говори по адрес на бежанците, които идват в България от различни държави. Те идват от Сирия, идват от Афганистан, идват от Сомалия, откъде ли не търсят помощ. И тя говори измислени и гадни неща, които обаче намират почва бързо. И вие, всеки от вас го познава в собствената си държава. Има такива случаи, има такива казуси. Мохамед сега ме призовава да кажа своето мнение по въпроса и аз ще го кажа ясно пред всички вас. За мен тази жена трябва да върне мандата си като депутат веднага. Тази телевизия се намира под мониторинг от Съвета за електронни медии. На нея са и наложени санкции и в момента вървят процедури.
Не са наложени санкции. Ако повдигнали сме дело срещу тях, с тях продължават.
Вие няма как да знаете дали са наложени санкции или не са, защото това е демократичната процедура в такава държава. Налагаш санкция, тя обжалва в съда, докато санкцията влезе в сила, но нямайте съмнение, че санкции са наложени.
I would advise you to continue this conversation there over lunch because it's really over. And please do not interpret this as censorship because this is not fair. This is not fair to all the others. Thank you very much.